Title: My brother stole my girlfriend. So I stole his dream life right out from under him. Brandon and I were never close growing up. He always had to win. The better grades, better car, better attention. But I had one thing he didn't: Rachel. My first real relationship. We were happy, building a future, talking about moving in together. Until Brandon started hanging out with her a little too often. I come home from work and find him laughing in the kitchen. He'd say things like, "She's too good for you, man. You're lucky I'm not a thief." Rachel would giggle. I thought it was just messed up teasing, until I walked in on them. In my own apartment, on my couch, and Brandon had the nerve to smirk at me and say, "Well, guess I am a thief." Rachel just sat there, naked and crying, saying she was confused and didn't mean to hurt me. I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I just walked out and started planning. A few weeks later, I went no contact with both of them. But here's where it gets fun. See, Brandon had one dream his whole life: to open a luxury car dealership. He bragged about it for years, made PowerPoints, mood boards, had the name, branding, everything, just needed startup capital. That's where our Aunt Mel came in. She's rich. I'm talking multi-property, investor-level rich, but very private about it. She always told us she'd help the more stable and loyal nephew launch something big. What Brandon didn't know is that Aunt Mel adored me. She knew about the cheating, and she hated entitled behavior more than anything. So I pitched her an idea. What if I opened a luxury dealership instead, with Brandon's dream name? She said, "Let's make it happen." And just like that, I stole his dream. I didn't tell Brandon. I waited until the grand opening. Sent him an invitation with his own logo on it. He showed up with Rachel, now his soulmate, wearing cheap matching outfits like some off-brand influencer couple. And when he saw the dealership name, Brandon's Elite Motors, he froze. He stormed inside, screaming, "You can't do this. This was my idea." I calmly replied, "Then maybe you shouldn't have stolen something of mine." He lost it. Rachel tried to calm him down, but then Aunt Mel walked up and said, loud enough for customers to hear, "This is what loyalty looks like. You should have tried it sometime." Brandon stormed out. Rachel followed, crying, again. But oh, it doesn't stop there. I handed Brandon a tissue and said calmly, "Sorry, we're only hiring people we could trust. You wouldn't understand." He looked at me, not angry, not even ashamed, just hollow. He stood up, straightened his shirt, and smirked. "You think this is over? You have no idea what I'm capable of." And just like that, he walked out. No yelling, no begging, no fight. But I knew that look. Brandon wasn't done. And honestly, neither was I. Update, 6 months later. So, guess who showed back up? No, not for a job. To sabotage my dealership. Someone broke into our secondary storage unit and keyed every car in the lot. Guess who was caught on security footage? Yep, Brandon, wearing a hoodie with his own last name stitched on the sleeve. Real genius. We pressed charges, but he begged Aunt Mel to intervene. She refused. Now he's got a misdemeanor, a restraining order, and a court date. But here's the real twist. Rachel testified against him. Turns out, he'd been treating her like garbage since day one. Controlling, manipulative, borderline scary. She was too afraid to leave, until he turned his rage toward her. She reached out to me, not for forgiveness, just to say, "You were always the better man. I never deserved you." I didn't respond, but I did show that message to Aunt Mel. She just laughed and said, "Looks like karma pays monthly now." I'm not sure what Brandon's next move will be, but one thing's for sure. I'll always be 10 steps ahead. It had been a few months since Brandon got hit with a restraining order and vandalism charges. Things were quiet, too quiet, and I should have known that when Brandon's quiet, he's plotting. One morning, I walk into the office and my assistant looks pale. There's a letter waiting for me on the desk, thick, official looking. Brandon is suing me for intellectual property theft. He says I stole his dealership idea, defamation of character, emotional distress. He even attached screenshots of old text messages from years ago, where he talked about wanting to open a dealership. It was laughable until I read the end. He's demanding $500,000 in damages. Now, I could have let my lawyer handle it. And believe me, we're lawyered up, but I wanted to play it smarter. So I did something petty, something very me. I reached out to Rachel. She sent me a PDF of Brandon's business plan from back in the day, full of spelling errors, vague goals, and zero execution. She also dropped a bombshell. He never even knew Aunt Mel was rich. He used to call her useless behind her back. You can't make this up. I compiled every receipt, my proposal, our investment documents, Aunt Mel's testimony, screenshots of Brandon mocking me in text with Rachel during their affair. My lawyer said, this case isn't just going to get thrown out. He's going to bury himself with it. But then, something changed. Just days before the court hearing, Brandon's lawyer pulls out. No warning. Just gone. Rumors start swirling. Apparently, Brandon couldn't pay the legal fees. Worse, he's trying to represent himself. But here's the thing. A few days ago, I saw Brandon outside the dealership. Not doing anything. Just standing across the street. Watching. He looked thinner. Pale. Empty. I didn't go outside. I just watched him through the tinted glass. And then, he smiled. Like he knew something I didn't. I don't know what Brandon's planning next. I don't know why he dropped the lawsuit, or if he has another card up his sleeve. But whatever it is, I'll be ready. Thank you for watching, and if you want more content like these, please tap the like button, subscribe, and tap the notification bell to be updated on new posts.